Hello, my name is Daniel Black, and this is a recording for Appendix C to go along with my dissertation, Shostakovich's 13th Symphony Performance Guide. So this recording will be divided into two parts. I'm going to first just talk about the basic sounds and demonstrate the basic sounds of the Russian language. And in the second part, I'll actually recite the text of the symphony. So without further ado, here is the Russian alphabet. A, B, V, G, D, E, Yo, Ž, Z, I краткая, K, L, M, N, O, P, R, S, T, U, F, H, C, Č, Š, Š. Tвердый знак, which is the hard sign. I, мягкий знак, which is the soft sign. E, U, and Ya. So that's the basic alphabet, and as you can see, many of those sounds are quite similar to English or Western European languages, although there are obviously also several things that are quite different. And I'll look into those in a little bit more detail next. Now let's take a look at Russian vowels. Now, the actual sound of Russian vowels is quite similar to Italian or to some versions of English and other Western European languages. You have 5 basic sounds: the A, E, I, O, U. And those are the same, and they're very consistent when you sustain the sound. A, E, I, O, U. Now, the way Russian is designed, there's also another set of vowels. These are called soft vowels, and they start with a consonant sound like a Y. So you have Ya, Ye, I, Yo, U. So the difference there, once you get to the sustained sound, they're basically the same, but the difference is really at the beginning of the vowel. And if there are consonants directly before, then it changes a little bit the pronunciation of those consonants. So now let's take a look at, there's one pair of vowels that is a little bit unusual, and that is the hard vowel I and the soft vowel I. Now, in spoken Russian, these two are quite different, and the I sound in particular, the hard vowel, is different from any sound in English. It's a little bit like the I in think. And it's formed, you can kind of feel your front of your mouth close together, your lips close together. You form the actual vowel sound towards the back of your throat. I, like this. Like I said, that's important in spoken Russian. In sung Russian, almost always you would just use the soft vowel in practice. Even the hard I sound ends up sounding like I when sung and sustained. There are a few times when you need that I sound if it's a short vowel and if the meaning of that word is very important. For example, the word мы, which means we or us. The other unusual vowel is the I краткая. Now that is a vowel that in Russian is somewhat like the Y in English in that it can act as both a consonant at the beginning of a word and as a vowel. And in the case of Russian, what we'll see in this text is that it combines with the other vowels in order to form a little bit different vowel sound. So just in the same order, I'll do that. At the end of A, you would make I, like tie. At the end of E, you would have A, like hey. At the end of I or I, it basically stays the same sound, I. At the end of O, it sounds like oi, like the oi in boy. And at the end of U, it sounds ui, like buoy, ui. So that I краткая in the course of this text will basically, you'll find it just in the circumstance of modifying the pure vowel sound. Let's move on to talking about Russian consonants. Now, the majority of Russian consonants act pretty much like their English equivalents, so I'm not going to bother talking about those. Instead, we'll focus on a few letters which either act differently than in English or are representative of combinations of consonants in the English language. So let's start with the combination consonants. That is sh, sha, zh, and tse. These four letters, and the sh is basically just like an sh sound. There's also sh, and in Russian, these are two very distinct sounds when spoken, but when sung, they're very, very similar. So in the transliteration of the dissertation and elsewhere, I will just be using the same sound to represent both of these Russian letters. Then there is zh, which corresponds to zh, and finally ts, which corresponds to ts, and that's very commonly found at the beginning and ending of Russian words. Okay, so now we have four letters that they have an analog to English letters, but they are actually quite a bit different in how they're pronounced. Let's start with R, and Russian er. This, like many other European languages, this has a flipped R rather than the English or American English R, er. And you form that by putting your tongue right up behind your top teeth and flip it just once, or might flip a second time. Er, like that. Rot, that kind of sound. Very, very light and delicate in the front of your mouth. The next one is ha. That's the X-looking one, and that's equivalent to an English H, but it is a sound that is not found in English. It's found in German and Yiddish and some other languages, but a very deep guttural ha sound. When transliterated into English, this is usually transliterated KH, and you just have to remember that KH is never a hard K sound, but always a H guttural sound, like the CH in Bach, the composer Bach. Okay, then there is the L, and the L is quite tricky because there is a hard L, which is pretty similar to the English L, and there is also a soft L. Again, this L, this is formed closer to the front of the mouth, closer to your teeth, and because there is a real significant difference in that pronunciation, in the transliteration I have indicated a soft L by writing an apostrophe after it, so that you can see that you want to put your tongue towards the top of the mouth and behind your teeth and pronounce very softly L, like lot. The other L is, you can basically use an English L, L. And finally, the G sound. Now this is similar to the English G, except that it's always hard, like get, G. And the reason I mention this, there is one exception. It is very common to see this G in between two vowels, usually ye and o, or o and o. And when it's in that combination of three letters, the G actually sounds like a V, so yevo, ova. That sound is very common in Russian. So in case you're following the Cyrillic letters, it might be a little confusing. In the transliteration, I am just going to write using the V sound to avoid confusion. Alright, let's move on now to the actual text. You had a very, very brief demonstration of the sounds of Russian language, and now I'm going to go through and actually demonstrate the text of the choir in Shostakovich's 13th Symphony. We'll do this movement by movement, and this corresponds with figure 5.1 of the dissertation. And during this, I will move slowly so that you can hear the pronunciation as clearly as possible. Alright, so movement 1 is Babi Yar. Nad Babim Yarом памятников нет. Крутой обрыв, как грубое надгробие. Мне страшно. Мне сегодня столько лет, как самому еврейскому народу. Кровь льется, растекаясь пополам. Бесчинствуют вожди трактирной стойки и пахнет водкой с луком пополам. под гогот «Бей жидов, спасай Россию! Лобазник избивает мать мою!» Союзом русского народа. Сюда идут, ломают дверь. Над Бабом Яром шелест диких трав. Деревья смотрят грозно, по-судейски. Здесь молча все кричит. И, шапку сняв, я чувствую, как медленно седею. Интернационал пусть программит, когда навеки похоронен будет последний на земле антисемит. И потому я настоящий русский. Okay, that's first movement. Now the second movement, юмор. Являлся бродяга Эзоп, и нищими они выгладили. Всю пошлость хожа Назредин, шибал, как шахматы, шутками. Да только его не купишь, а юмор показывал кукиш. Его голова, отрубленная, торчала на пике стрельца. Я туточки, и лихо пускался в пляс. И тю-тю. Решеткой из стены каменье он проходил насквозь, откашливаясь простуженно, как рядовой боец. Шагал он частушкой, простушкой, с винтовкой на Зимний дворец. Вечен, ловок и юрок, и так дославится юмор. Он мужественный человек. All right, and the third movement, в магазине. О бидонов их бросание, звон бутылок и кастрюль. Пахнет луком, огурцами, пахнет соусом Кабул. Они тихо почитают, боги добрые сами, и в руках они сжимают деньги труднее свои. Все они переносили, все они перенесут. Их обсчитывать постыдно, их обвешивать грешно. Okay, and the fourth movement is страхи. Умирают в России страхи, словно призраки прежних лет. Лишь на паперти, как старухи, кое-где еще просят на хлеб. Не боялись мы строить в метель, уходить под снарядами в бой, но боялись порою смертельно разговаривать сами с собой. Нас не сбили и не растили, и недаром сейчас во врагах. Победившая страхи Россия еще больше рождает страх. Умирают в России страхи. And finally, the fifth movement, карьера. Что неразумен Галилей, что неразумен Галилей. Кто неразумней, тот умней, кто неразумней, тот умней. Был Галилея не глупее, был Галилея не глупее. Но у него была семья, а между тем губил ее, Я понимаю, карьерист. Итак, да здравствует карьера, когда карьера такова, как у Шекспира и Пастера, Ньютона и Толстого, Льва. Зачем их грязью покрывали? Талант, как ни клеймей. Но помнят тех, кого кляли, Я с их карьер беру пример. Alright, so that's a demonstration of the text as printed in Shostakovich's 13th Symphony. Just the choral text there. The solo text is the responsibility of the soloist. And I just want to mention that in that last movement, the fifth movement, Carriera, there's one line, a между тем губил ее, which is done very, very fast. This is like a patter aria, it's supposed to be kind of humorous, kind of comic moment. So in this, you don't want to over-pronounce the Russian. You want to just get through it very, very quickly, simplify those vowels a little bit. А между тем губил ее. And that will really help to try and simplify and not get all of those ye sounds, all of those soft vowel articulations to get through. Alright, so finally we have figure 5.2, and this is the fourth movement, but contains new text which the poet Yevtushenko actually composed in 2005 as a revision. He was not happy with what he had originally wrote for Shostakovich, but Shostakovich died before he could revise it. So he put together a new couple of verses that modify the meaning of the poem. And to my knowledge, this has not ever been performed yet, but it presents an interesting option for the interpreter. So because this text is unusual, I am going to demonstrate all of it, including the solo part, so that if any orchestra wishes to undertake the new revised version of the text according to Yevtushenko, that they have an example of it. Alright, so this is the modified text for the fourth movement, Страхи. Умирают в России страхи, словно призраки прежних лет. Лишь на паперти, как старухи, кое-где еще просят на хлеб. Я их помню во власти и силе, при дворе торжествующей лжи. Страхи всюду, как тени, скользили, проникали во все этажи. Потихоньку людей приручали и на все налагали печать, где молчат бы кричат, приручали и молчат, где бы надо кричать. Страхи нас пробирали морозом, только вспомнишь и вздрогнешь теперь. Тайный страх перед чем-то доносом, тайный страх перед стуком в дверь. Ну а страх говорит с иностранцем. С иностранцем-то что? А с женой? Ну а страх безотчетный осятся после марша вдвоем с тишиной. Не боялись мы строить в метели, уходить под снарядами в бой, но боялись порою смертельно разговаривать сами с собой. Будь свободна, как Волга в разливе, но запомните страшные дни. Победившая страхи Россия и бесстрашие свое сохрани. Совесть — главное наше богатство. Пожелаем нам всем одного. Только совести нашей боятся, ну а кроме нее никого. Пусть не смеет ни пытки, ни плахи воскресит на Руси кто-нибудь. Пусть уж если останутся страхи, это страхи людей обминут. Умирают в России страхи. И когда я пишу эти строки и порою невольно спешу, то пишу их в единственном страхе, что не в полную силу пишу. Alright, this concludes my demonstration of the Russian text of Shostakovich's 13th Symphony. It accompanies my dissertation performance guidance to performance of Shostakovich's 13th Symphony. Thank you for watching.